No longer see the stream.
Okay.
Reload.
Okay, it says Tetstream is now streaming. Watch with 5 viewers.
Yep.
Do you see video?
I see video.
Okay. Does anyone else see video?
Right. Hey guys,
I
let
see
us know.
video on Twitch.
Okay, he can. Okay, Max can see and he can hear us. So
Okay, it's just my browser. That's fine.
Ow. Helps if I don't have a jammed finger when I try to do the countdown.
Don't.
Are we ready?
Yeah. As ready as we'll ever be.
Right. All right, let's do this thing. Going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
AIE is showing off our ships.
So many add-ons to update, and so many add-on updaters.
Mm-hmm.
They are doing the Lord's work. This Friday is going to be mega.
This, the time of the Mad King.
And Abovan is here to talk to us about AIE and Final Fantasy XIV.
All that and more coming up now.
Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
It always makes me so happy to hear Akizad do that.
I know.
Anyway, welcome to episode 5. Wow, 354, the podcast celebrating you, the Aliyah Octa S gaming community. The Die Has Been Podcast. I am Makala, and to my left and downstairs is Tetsumi.
And boy, do I need my spreadsheets this week.
You just need him to figure out eye colors for your characters, hon.
You're not wrong.
I know
we'll
I'm
talk
not
about
wrong.
that in a minute.
Okay. And to our right and 2 states over is Mewcow.
Greetings, guildies of multiple games.
And this week we're joined by our very special guest and good friend Abovan, who's here to talk to us about AIE and Final Fantasy XIV. Welcome.
Oh,
Yay!
we are definitely going to be talking some 14 because we're not the only patch in town.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about add-ons.
So many
No.
add-ons.
No, but I did get a new monitor which has a higher resolution, so I did have to this week.
Ooh.
So that messed up my resolution. So when my perfectly pixel perfect spacing out bars that perfectly lined up, so I clicked on the one bar and make one appear and stuff like that, and all these little fun macros I had. I got the new monitor with the new higher resolution, and they're all over the place.
Yep.
So guys,
Sounds about right.
you remember the old AIE hashtag AIE problems? We need to now replace that with ABO problems.
Yeah.
Apple problems falls under a lot of things here, so you got to be careful with that.
Yeah. The list is long and distinguished. Anyways, but this is not an adult show, so let's go ahead and we're going to talk about a little more about ABO problems and Final Fantasy XIV shortly. Oh wait, let me actually rewind that. All right. So before we get into the news and Final Fantasy XIV, let's find out what's going on in and out of game. And because you are our guest and your name comes first alphabetically, Abovan, what's going on in your life besides the whole really pretty brand new monitor?
Well, first off, my name is alphabetically on purpose when I created the name, so that was like one of my reasonings.
I like that.
Because back in the day, AIE had like before Greenwall, before the unification of the splitting of all the different sub guilds, there was like 100,000 people in one guild. So if you're at the top of the list, AB it's pretty close. Except for Aardvark.
Right, I'm good. Oh, hey, again, AIE problems.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was like what my mindset when I first joined back in the Wrath days.
Back in my day.
I remember
Yeah.
the Wrath days when was it Oldar? Was that the name of the place? That raid?
Oh, you are.
Old War.
Old War?
Yep.
Yeah, Old War. That's when I joined. and that was
okay.
a thing.
I'm a late Wrath baby myself.
Best
There you go.
raid
But-
ever.
Yes, very good, so beautiful. Anyway, what I've been doing, so I've been playing games. I have been playing Final Fantasy.
Shocking.
Sounds new for you.
I have not touched my old characters, but I did repurchase WoW again.
Awesome.
Wow.
So
Literally.
my current MMO subscriptions do end up with Final Fantasy, WoW, and ESO.
All right.
R.I.P.
So,
11.
I do have. It's still going strong, and if I had time to play it, I would.
Yeah.
Because it's underneath all of the warts and everything else, there is a beautiful game there. It's just that by modern standards, it's hard just to pick up just for a half hour or an hour, anything like that. You need to have time to play, and
Yep.
right now,
Yeah, it's a
hard.
job. Yeah, you need at least 8 hours a day, and if you really want to play Final Fantasy 11 seriously.
Right. But besides those games, the other games that I've been digging, been playing a lot of Hollow Knight. That's a little
Nice.
Metroidvania game that's very good. I'm trying to go through the last known expansion with that one. The whatever it's called, I can't remember. And the other game that I found on Game Pass that is totally rad, Demon's Tilt, Pinball.
Ooh.
And I've been
Oh.
it's a pinball game, like actual flippers, but it's video pinball, so you can get away. You can do a lot more than
right.
when you don't have physics to worry about.
Yeah.
And
Or at
it's
least. Yeah.
and it's on PC Game Pass, and it's it's also available on other platforms too. I'm sure you can get it like on an actual Xbox and stuff like that. You can buy it on other platforms, but Game Pass PC. So okay, I'll try this. Oh my god, this is totally rad.
Awesome.
So I've been pinball. I've been playing that, and it's a lot of fun. Totally rad. Totally recommend.
Sounds like it.
Excellent.
Does anyone else want to dust Abo's screen?
I use the same background on Zoom calls for work as well as this, and it's also the same one I use for my my Twitch background. But normally I just put down in a corner.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Awesome. All right. So, Muka, what have you been up to in and out of game, my friend?
Oh, well. I guess there was some kind of a patch in WoW, I guess.
Yeah, something about that.
I don't know. It was distracting because it was the same day as Final Fantasy 14 patch day.
Right, right.
Go figure.
But yeah, it's funny how that works out.
Yeah, but you have gigabit internet, so you're good.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I did eventually. Like a week later, I logged into the WoW and poked at it because, like, I don't know, that it just both of raid teams have kind of like I've logging into Discord for raid time, but that's it.
Yeah.
Like if we aren't needing people, like it wasn't until Thursday I think that I finally logged in. It's like, oh yeah, I guess poke around with this, but just I was trying out all the new customization on both sides, and like most of my characters haven't changed much. Like they already were set kind of a good way, and it's really like it's the core races that got the most out of this update, and you can even consider like the Burning Crusade races to be core races too.
Yeah.
So. Because Blood Elves, like I definitely did change some Blood Elves around. I do have a few Blood Elves, I just don't play them much, but that might change with the coming expansion. Because my hunter is kind of a hoity-toity Blood Elf, and happens to be a coven that's perfect for that kind of person.
The Fenthir.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have a dinner party and talk.
Yeah, it's my hunter that's into collecting rare mounts, and that's another thing that I wanted to poke around with. It was they added the Cloud Serpent. So
did you go get Hulan?
Well, I couldn't because I have the bug where I sent the book to my hunter that didn't have Exalted with the Cloud Serpents. It couldn't use it because it says you have to be Exalted. Gotcha. So I started the quest line again on Hunter. Yeah. So, when I remember, I'll log in and push that a little further. I'm hoping they fix that bug because what's the point of making the book account bound if you can't send it to another character to use. So
yeah, definitely.
But poking at the Final Fantasy XIV, just kind of tooling around on alts, which I know is strange for me.
God, that's a new thing for you, right?
Yeah, definitely a new thing.
Yeah.
I have not gone into Bosgen though, which I don't know if Abo has yet, but we can talk about that later. But yeah, that's the next thing I need to do is go into there. And the reason why I didn't immediately jump on is because I lived through Eureka and didn't enjoy it because it reminded me too much of the bad version of Final Fantasy XI.
Yeah.
Got it.
This is more fun, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. So we'll see. Other than that, probably spending too much time in Genshin Impact. It's
so good.
It's better than it has any business being. Definitely,
for
still
a free game.
Yeah, that's the thing and when we say free, like it actually truly is free. Like
Really?
everyone's like, oh, you have to pay money to get the good characters. No,
Nope.
There are people that have purposely been doing no money plays and have almost all the 5 stars.
Yeah,
like it's totally luck. Like if you throw money at it, your luck might be a little better, but I mean
that's
it
the
could
point of a
be
gacha
worse.
game, right?
Exactly.
The whales fund it, and you're good.
Nice.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
great.
It's still a gorgeous game. It's the story is still interesting. There are some plateaus where things are a little boring for a little while, but then you'll hit the next big milestone, and then things will spin up again. But they have a lot of content to come. Like they've only opened essentially 2 of these zones, and I have to imagine there's at least 5 more planned.
Oh yeah.
So there's just so much to do. And than that, just some cooking at home. We did decorate for Halloween, so it didn't feel right not doing that. And,
I agree.
We've been planning out ways to still celebrate those that want to visit by putting up a large spider to block them. No, I mean
I saw that video. That looked awesome.
But I do want to put up like a big spider web blocking the door, because we have a couple plans, but I think I'm going to go with the newer one that Mrs. Mew came up with. Maybe not catapult, but essentially, my original plan was to create a giant tube, because we have a 2nd story balcony right back here.
Yeah,
there you go. Just
and just tube the stuff down, but it'll require a lot of crafting, and I probably wouldn't use the tubes afterwards, so it seems like kind of a waste. So the other idea Mrs. Mew came across was clear baggies filled with candy and glow sticks, and then you throw that into the yard so that the passersby can then go after the glow sticks, and then whenever we need more, we can throw it from the balcony, and it's in a baggie. It's it's just candy, and we have real grass because it's Texas and there's real grass everywhere,
right?
And wildlife and all that crazy crap. But it's essentially like it's a way for us to be distant, but still because we have a good view of the sidewalk from up here, up in the balcony there. Right. So just toss them out there, and the glow sticks kind of make it fun.
There you go.
And it's also going to weight it down enough so it's going to land well instead of flutter off.
Yep.
Nice. I like it.
That's the thing is one of the things that I loved about getting into this news, because we've been in this house a year now, and I love decorating it. It's for Halloween and for Yule essentially. Yep. So I just it didn't feel right. Like I didn't want to let things take that away. So
we did that. We did the decorating. Definitely. So I'm with you. All right.
That's pretty much me.
Cool. All right. So Tat, what have you been up to, my love?
Well, I have fully embraced Mew's Altaholic, and I have been leveling all the things. Oh, no. I mean, I had it from Legion, but...
He's always had it.
Yeah.
I looked up from officering and add-on tweaking and everything, and realized the only class I don't have at 50 right now is my monk. I had gotten 5 classes to 120, parked everything, and just said I'm not going to touch anything until the expansion comes out. I've got my, I've got my Covenant choices picked out, and I'm good. And then I'm like, Well, this character's 45 and 50's like 5 levels, and you like log into a character and do one quest and it dings over to 46, and then you're like
stumble across a new boundary.
Yeah, well, now it's like 4 levels. This can't take that long, so I go visit Chromie and Org, and I go, oh, well, let's see. I was halfway through Pandaria before I left it, so let's pick that up. Send me to Pandaria. Go end up in Kasserang Wilds, because I guess that's where I was. And
so it does remember where you were then.
Oh yeah, so like I had done Jade Forest, Valley of the Four Winds, and I could either do Kasserang or go up to Taolong Steps. I think it's Taolong Steps, the one to the north. And I said, "Oh, I'll go see Ken in Kasserang Wild." And yeah, no, it remembers your quest progression, so you can just go right where you were. I have an add-on that tells me, for the zone, what the quest progression should be. So I didn't have to like look at the map and try and find it, because I'd cleared out my quest logs a long time ago. But yeah, so mage, what did I have? My priest was ready there. See, it's the thing. It's like I had 5. I got the rest up. So the only thing I have left is my Brewmaster Monk. So I took him back to Pandaria to finish that off.
It's fitting.
And then looking at my spreadsheet, I realized, oh Lord, there's heritage armor and allied races to do. And I realized I didn't have the gnome, I didn't have the worgen, and looking at race completion, I didn't have a human anywhere. So I made those 3 up this afternoon, and I'm taking the worgen through the Exile's Reach, which is the new leveling starting area for 1 to 10, which is really good. The pacing's good, the content is good, so it really helps with new players. And McCullough does not know this, but since it's a black wolf, guess what name was available? She is Ebony Wolf, the rogue. Yes, so I have that name reserved on her, and then I made my my priest, and I made a human priest and the worgen rogue, and then a gnome fire mage, because of course you're going to set things on fire, and it's going to be an engineer, so the whole thing. But now I've got everything organized of like, okay, I don't know when the patch is coming. We're guessing end of November, December, maybe. So I'm like, well, I got my wild chores to do now, because I log in Ted, look at the emissary and go, nope, not doing it. Back to
right.
So, but I will say this, and we've got to come up. If you have alts, you're creating alts. We'll talk about it in the WoW section. Just use the guild finder, get them in. So, All right, that's what I've been up to. McCullough, what have you been up to?
Guess what? You know what I started doing. And then I realized how really bad I am at video games. I started playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
Which is gorgeous. It is buggy as hell right now because it's early access. But it definitely feels like you're playing D&D 5e.
Oh yeah.
You're dealing with these monsters that you're very familiar with. A lot of the mechanics are very similar to the way pen and paper works, or actually in our case now in the modern universe, Roll20 or D&D Beyond or Fantasy Grounds and character sheet work. And it's a blast. I am really enjoying it, but because I'm so used to when I did play video games more actively, it was, WoW. So I was used to that type of movement, or even, trying to play, SOTOR or Final Fantasy. And the movement is not intuitive at all.
No, the camera movement is divorced from the character movement, and having to move the camera with WASD, but you click and then your character will follow a path to where it's going to go. Just
Yeah.
And the camera isn't like they do that thing where like you move the camera and it'll kind of fog of war separate if you're behind architecture and stuff. It's not good right now.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that gets updated. I know there's been a lot of feedback about that, the movement piece of it. But other than that, it's gorgeous. Character creation's a blast. A little upset that there's not ASMR or Changeling, but Changeling is not a Forgotten Realm creature, character class, so that's understandable, or character race. But it's good. It kind of fills in my love of, my enjoyment of video games and the fact that I'm kind of like in the D&D portion of my life. So I'm really loving that. Other than that, my normal games several times a week because I'm like I'm back in college. We have decorated for the holidays, taking pictures of the kitten, who's now, of course, not a kitten anymore and does not appreciate daily pictures.
No.
But she gets extra treats, so she doesn't care. Baking, cooking, hiking, that's about it. But yeah, right. mainly when I play games, right now it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3.
Awesome.
Interesting.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and dig into Final Fantasy in just a few minutes, and we're going to go over this week's news first.
AIE News.
All right, and in Guild Podcast news, we have STO, Fleet Action Report 13, the Dominion, and the Jem'Hadar. Nicodemus and Greybog welcome you to another episode of the Fleet Action Report. This time, they go into playing as the Dominion and the Jem'Hadar. They cover the basics and how players will... and how far players will need to go before you become a Dominion representative for either the United Federation of Planets or the Klingons. And in Fleet Action Report 14, Crafting and Tribulations, they go through the research and development system and end with covering the long-lost art of triple breeding.
I thought you just put two of them in a closet and that was it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yep, that's exactly what you do. And there's even less rules about them than there are, gremlins. All right. And in SOTOR Escape Podcast News 356, the HK51 Companion. If you haven't hit it yet, HK51 Companion is still in the game, and Max and Seema talk about how you can get it. And in Working Class Nerds, episode 84 is beginning to look a lot like a new game session. Nick and Marcus look into the games and nerdy media content that they've been looking forward to coming out before the end of 2020 because that's all we got, guys.
Yep.
2020.
All right. And in Nomads news, we have a Dual Universe update. AIE and Dual Universe has been participating in the Ship Expo this weekend, showing off a few of our shiny ships we've been busy building in the game and for others to see and experience. Testing of the latest ship designs continues as they work constantly to improve them. Check out the recent blog post Max wrote up recently on AIE-Guild.org. AIE-Guild.org. Wow. For a bit more on in-depth information about what Dual Universe is, what they're up to, and a few pictures of just some of the ships. Mining trips continue as they work towards building anti-grav technology. Some of the more rare materials still elude our grasp, but we hope soon to find them. AIE is looking into sponsoring a racer for the upcoming hover race leagues, which are forming. So if you're a speed demon who enjoys the thrill of white knuckle, close to the ground, high-speed flying, let Cadavari know. As the game is still in beta, there are constant improvements. Perhaps the most exciting recent addition is a few additional logic gate elements, including the NAND, NOR, and the ever-loved XOR gates. The organization is in need of coal and carbon. Who isn't? So, if you're sitting on a large hoard, feel free to drop those off for project use.
Go and work or Torin? Sorry.
And over in WoW news, the new co-guild for invites is Fortuna, which might be the best guild. Yeah, a little bit. But if you're going to be piling in like everyone else, make sure you jump in Discord. There is the WoW channel, there is the officers channel. Ping us, and we can get you in there. But Fortuna, look for it. If you can't get a hold of an officer, look for Fortuna in the guild search. If you are making a new alt that isn't an allied race, a DK, or a demon hunter, make sure you check out Exile's Reach. The story is solid, and the quest level pacing is really well done. Also, make sure you update your add-ons. You may need to switch to alpha builds until things get sorted out, but most add-ons have updated. If they haven't, check the comments on the add-on website. Sometimes there'll be a quick fix in there while waiting for a release, because sometimes it's just changing a bit of text so that it works.
Right.
Yep.
And over in WoW Classic news, the UO raid team cleared Blackwing Lair for the second time. And they would like you to join them for Molten Core on Saturdays, Blackwing Lair on Sundays, and AQ40 is just around the corner. Guild chat is connected with Greenwall to the United Ogremar Guild, so feel free to chat and group up and level with our friends over there. Hallow's End is here. If you need a event refresher, Wowhead has a great WoW Classic guide to follow, which... Has that popped up in WoW Retail yet?
Yes, it just started today. I landed at the flight point, went to scent my hearth, and went, "Ooh, candy bucket!" Yeah,
yeah. Ooh, piece of candy.
Exactly.
Wow, your sweet tooth translates to game life too.
Yep.
Well, but the thing is, you can use the candy buckets as experience to leveling up. So if you have all the flight paths, you just fly around and get all the candy buckets in the cities and the flight paths, and you're good.
Yup. Of course, the Vanilla Sunday is taking a break on Sunday, October 25th, but we'll be back with a tentative November-December schedule, so look forward to that. If you're active in WoW Retail, that means you're also able to play WoW Classic too, so let us know if you make a tune, need a guild invite, or if you want some bags to get started. Just ping Nevermore. She's been doing a great job over there.
Is amazing at that stuff.
Yep.
All right. And in SOTOR news, we completed another night of the HK51 quest line in MFN, and we'll most likely finish in the next on the next pubside mandatory fun night. For part of the night, they had broken into groups, so they had some extra temporary voice channels. And best voice channel name ever includes such favorites as hashtag meatbags and hashtag lumpogrease.
Yep. Which are
our
quotes
Sunday
from HK51.
Excellent. Our Sunday night operations team had been combined to run 60-man ops. Having 60 people run around puts a new spin on the familiar mechanics. Also, new achievements. Conquest changes are coming this week. They'll be monitoring it to see how it affects the ability to make large targets or get to make large targets on both factions.
Yep.
Mega coming October 23rd, which is, of course, this Friday. They'll be doing a spooky costume contest to start the night. Marcus is going to lead the team in acquisitions of fleet datacrons. If you have not done it yet, do not miss this. It takes a group and then some fairly heavy-duty cat herding to get it done, which Marcus is an expert at. Afterwards, there's going to be open world PvP with Corley, speaking of trying to herd cats. And SOTOR is looking forward to the new events coming in SOTOR starting this Tuesday. The Feast of Prosperity. The Huts want to celebrate. What could go wrong there? Nothing ever goes wrong with the Huts, right?
Nope.
Ever. Also, the Rackles will be in town at the same time, so Eyelets can look forward to getting killed again. We'd poke out his eyes, but it's right there in the name, guys. It's we're there. If you've not acquired your Vanguard Squadron-inspired mini-pet offered due to the release of Star Wars Squadrons, make sure you log in before November 7th. And be sure to log in on Friday nights for Flashpoints, achievements, and, of course, Mega.
All right. Okay, Abbo. Popitos, Huts, or Goblins and WoW? Who's got the better deals?
Well, the Goblins may sound like a deal, but they're probably just going to blow up in your face.
Probably.
Accurate.
The Lala deals, they're the Syndicate will swindle you but you'll get a deal that you can't refuse.
And the huts? I mean, are they
Well,
the
the huts,
Lalafells of the SWTOR universe?
Yeah, they are the huts. I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head here. They'll probably take your money, but then just shoot you.
That's accurate.
Pew 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 pew.
All right. And in ESO news, recent mandatory fun nights have been focused on clearing zones and doing public dungeons. We have continued the tradition of following Kinney off cliffs and getting lost while searching for sky shards. The Witches Festival begins October 22nd at 10 a.m. Eastern Time and runs through November 3rd at 10 a.m. Eastern. MFNs during the event will be focused on killing various bosses for the daily Plunder Skull rewards. On Tuesday, October 20th at 12 p.m. EST, Pete Hines will be joining the Bethesda UK stream team at twitch.tv/Bethesda to show off some of the Greymore content while raising money for the Cancer Research UK charity. They will have drops active, so tune in to support a good cause and get in-game loot. That's Twitch drops, which you can receive and then get in-game loot. So just to clarify, remember to raid the guild bank for any items your character might need.
Please.
I wonder if they'll comment on their recent acquisition by Microsoft. I guess we're going to have to be Microsoft players if we want to play these Bethesda games. Anyway, over in STO news, Star Trek Online, the big fleet need is both Spire and Embassy Holdings are nearing completion, so focus your efforts there. The Widening Gyre event is going on now, and as part of the ways to add to the completion is a new TFO dungeon called Synthwave. It's a popular music style lately.
It is.
This is from the show Picard. Getting 20 days off completion gives you a full space set. All T5 and T6 ships can now have experimental upgrades to them, making them a little bit more powerful. This gives you a universal console slot, another ship trait slot linked to the ship, though, and another device slot. Everyone gets one free experimental ship upgrade per account, but you can buy more from the Zen store for 1,000 Zen for one or 2,000 Zen for three. Ooh, better deal. They have better deals over there, apparently. Frankie, you haven't gotten into them.
Yeah.
Speaking of huts and Lalafells.
Yep.
Yeah. The MFN is still on Sundays and is still going strong. Probably right now.
Yep, 2 minutes ago.
Exactly right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Although I don't see anyone in the channel. If I'm not mistaken, did Dent say... Yeah, no fleet tonight.
Not tonight. Okay.
He has not been feeling well, needs to rest. Encourages captains to continue your great work you've been doing on finishing up the embassy project. Next week's fleet night will be focused on gaining fleet marks. We can use those to work on projects they're focusing on, like the embassy and the Spire.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you for that real-time update, Ted.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and in Guild Wars 2 news, Realm of the Mad King Festival runs through November 3rd. On October 23rd, Mail Lung will be hosting once again, if he has internet, of course, a dungeon run. They had a great time last month, and it's returning once again. Mad King's Labyrinth is one of the best XP gold farms in the game. Hop into LFG and find a squad in the open map, and ride the Verg to cash. You can either open your trick-or-treat bags or sell them on the trading post for decent coin as well.
Yep. And lastly, but not leastly, that just doesn't make sense, Lord of the Rings Online. If you're worried you missed the chicken play race, have no fear. It's been pushed back to this Saturday, October 24th. We'll have prizes for everyone who attends. We're also expecting an announcement of when the new expansion pack will go live any day now. Also, we've been given great news that the devs will be working on finally balancing the monsters in PvMP.
Awesome. All right. Well, after that news overload, it is time to go back to our friend Abba and find out what is going on in Final Fantasy XIV. Hey, Abba. What's going on in Final Fantasy XIV?
Well, with all that news overload, guess what I have?
News overload.
All right. So,
if you like news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you like news, then we got the news in the news. And then this news is about patch 5.35, which is the little mini patch in between the big patches. What this guy brought was the expansion of the Relic quest line, which includes a new zone. I'm still working on the pronunciation here. Bajan's Front. We'll go with that. Bajan.
Mhm.
Bozjan. It does. Bajan Front. But it's the next zone that houses the next phase of the Resistance Weapon quest chain, which is a new quest chain they introduced in 5.2.5, which is you get a weapon and then it grows with you through the end of the expansion, and then you can actually achieve. You go through the quest line, they just give you one, and you can get one for each one of your jobs. So you can get one for Black Mage, you get one for White Mage, you get one for Summoner, you get one, and so forth, right? Mm-hmm. And then it will level up as you go. So it's something that grows with you. And normally the intent is, if you get a fully loaded one, that's usually best in slot. Now, we don't know that because the new ones we haven't got to that point yet, but it's a pretty safe bet. So it's going to grow with you as you go through the expansion there. And the way that you upgrade it now is through the front. And there's also other ways, which we'll get to in a little bit. So let's talk about the front here for a sec. So it's a stage zone. So you start off in this little, after you do a couple of introductory quests, you start off in this lower zone until you level up, and you level your way up until you unlock the second area, and then you go through that for a little bit, then you unlock the third area. So it uses this independent leveling system. So that is separate from the game world. So when you go in for the first time, you are rank 1. And then you could rank all the way up. I believe it's up to 15, but they have content through 10 right now. All right. Mm-hmm. So by doing this zone, you are essentially when you go in, you're starting at the same level as everybody else does. What's also neat about this zone is that it scales you to level 80 when you go in there. Now, your jobs have to be 71 plus to get in there, and you do have to get through the main story quest line, which does mean you need to have at least 180 because you've completed the main story.
Yeah.
But you go in with one of your alt jobs at 71. So you can use this as a way to level your alt jobs in there, because it automatically scales you to 80, and it gives you all the skills when you're level 80. So you have the full kit. It normalizes your gear. I believe it's 480. I think it does there, because again, it's a different system. So the numbers you do there don't really matter, because it's your rank that you get. Mm-hmm. The way that you raise your rank is you find little skirmishes, which are sort of like fates, but they reward some gil, some experience for your leveling jobs, some tombstones, and some metal, which is like your it's almost like your experience on there. Now, once you hit rank 5, you gotta be careful about dying, because you can lose some, but you won't lose levels, so you can't de-level.
Gotcha.
Which some previous games have done.
11.
Yes.
Yeah.
11 did do that. I remember getting my first level down. It was very sad. But anyway, so you go through there and you're looking for these little fate-like things. Now, there are some times when you complete them, they'll trigger off what's called a critical engagement. And then you'll get a little message saying, there's a critical engagement going on. Click if you want to join. And then you, either your group or yourself solo, would then join, carve up, and then if you're selected in there, then you'll pop right in to this little carved out arena in the zone. So you can't get other people can't come in to help you, but you sort of have this like almost like a little boss arena, and then you fight a little boss. The tier 1s are actually very simple. Tier 2s are a little more complicated. There's one, a red comet, that if you want to see people cry, the red comet is the one out there, to the point that people are actually making strat videos up on YouTube for him. The best advice I can give you is just pay attention around you and you'll be fine. But that's kind of hard for some people.
Easier said than done.
Okay. But then you go through those critical encounters, and if you do those, there's a chance that you can proc a solo critical encounter. All right? The solo critical encounter is really cool. So if it procs on there, it'll pick one person out there who did really well in that encounter and say, hey, I'm a big bad guy. I challenge you.
Oh, that's fun.
And then that person will come. Well, if they accept, they will go into this single little arena with the boss, and it's a one-on-one thing. And what's been happening here is that people have been like, you can still see into the arena. There's just little ring around that you can't get in there, and where people can't get in and out, but you can see it, and you can still do like say stuff, and of course shouts, and of course party chats and other stuff going on. That all works. So then you actually see someone there doing this go mano a mano against this boss mob, and it's seldom that people do that. I know the first person completing it around Thursday this week. The patch came out on Tuesday, so 2 days ish. And they may have gone sooner. I haven't really kept up with that world first thing on there. If someone claimed to have it on there, I don't know if they had it sooner. Gotcha. But I haven't been. I don't stare at Twitch streams all day. I play the actual game because I have the sub and I watch the game and I play the game. Right. Okay. So there's a lot of cheering and a lot of stuff, and it's actually a lot of fun. We actually have one of our people, Marinus, actually got selected once, and it was a little tastic because we had no idea what to do. He was like, he was on voice like, I have no idea what to do. It says, just avoid everything, you'll be fine.
That's my general strategy when playing the bard. It's like, just run.
Okay. And then you'll get such drops that can be used like lock boxes, which will give you items, cosmetic, pets. And you also get lost actions, which is like little mounts. There is some really cool mounts that you get there. But there's also lost items that you can get. The lost items are like consumable actions that can be used only in the front here. All right. There's also some items you can drop that can get you upgrades to your relic weapon, or resistance weapon rather. I still like to call it relics, but technically it's the resistance weapon. All right.
Okay.
All right. So they can drop from any mob in the front, either from the skirmishes or just the little guy just goes, I'm out here. Even though they don't give experience, you can kill them, get stuff. You can also get these same items by not going into the Bajorn front if that's not your cup of tea. So there's multiple ways to upgrade your relic weapon this time around, which is new.
That's good.
In previous expansions, there was always one path. You have to go down this one path. This one is two different ways to do it. You can go into, and right now you need to get 20 of each kind of a nightmare type thing. There's I've been calling them emo stones because they're all like like bad emotions like regret and nightmares and blah, anger, rage.
Yeah, that's definitely an emo stone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I'm calling it.
Yeah, I like that.
No one else says that. That's just me. So if you try to Google emo stone, it's not going to work unless I happen to blog something, which chances are I'm not.
Right.
So you do that, and then you get you can get these by going to through Bajor, or you can go the Bajor front, or you can go and do fates from the Heaven's Ward expansion. Again, going back a couple of expansions ago, populating those zones as well as the new stuff too. So that's really groovy. And then once you get 20 of each one, and I've been playing around with those fates in there. I've been getting one. If I get gold on the fate, I get a stone. Period. So that's pretty cool. There is a second step to finally finish up your resistance weapon, which you can run by running level 60 dungeons, which is the max level of Heaven's Ward. Click the dot there. Or you can get an additional one for running your leveling roulette of the day.
Yep.
So it's not hard to do. You can probably do it. If you really if you got a couple of hours, you don't want to do the front, you can probably bang out the fates probably in a couple of hours and get them done. I am probably going to finish that tonight, quite honestly. So as AIE, we actually went into the Bajorn front as a group on Thursday, and it was a lot of fun. People were coming in and out as they go because all you have to do is just leave, I'd remove people as necessary and go back in again. There's wasn't really much of a big deal there. It's a nice mixture of combat and randomness and RNG to keep people on their toes. There's a little helping people out with their quest on there, saying, you're brand new here. Oh yeah, we'll get you powered up real quick. We'll explain the whole the zaniness that it just throws at you here. and it was a really good time. We did that Thursday night, and we're going to be doing that again next Thursday. That would be the 22nd for people who like numbers. We don't have exact time yet, but I think around 8 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you do have any questions on that time, or when it hasn't been finalized, drop us a line in the Final Fantasy 14 channel in Discord. Okay. Other content in this patch will also include the Skybuilder's crafting relics, which is the super high end crafting relics, similar to the resistance weapons, but now it's for crafting. That can be upgraded to another step, so that's kind of cool. There are some new minions, new hairstyles, new emotes, mounts. Yes,
that hairstyle.
Yes, because I'm totally into hairstyles. Can't you tell?
Totally. Yeah.
Oh, bald is available in WoW. Just FYI. So if you want to recreate Abo, you can.
I used to love my bald work.
Oh yeah,
she was gorgeous.
Yep.
No, but there's a certain one. I think people are calling it the Ject hairstyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
With the giant headband and the mullet.
Oh my gosh! No!
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
No!
It's like, wow, that's an interesting choice.
No.
Yeah,
it is a thing. I'm not saying that, there's a lot of hairstyles in this game. I'm just gonna say, they all can't be winners.
No.
There's something for everybody. Clearly, even people with absolutely no taste.
Speaking of not everyone could be a winner, on to the next beat.
The next thing here is, not everyone can be a winner in the Feast, which is competitive PvP. There's a new season of that starting on this patch. And also the next thing where people can't win at, by the time you're listening to this podcast, the patch has been out for about 5 days. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Tuesday, it's Sunday, about 5 days. So take that 5, now reduce that to 5 minutes. If you were able to log into the game when the patch went live within the first 5 minutes, you might have had a chance to purchase one of the new housing plots they put in.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
They put in... Yeah, it was real quick. We actually tried to upgrade it to a large... No dice. But, they did add more stuff on there. Now, we think we might see some more... a new housing zone available in the next expansion, because the Ishgard housing zone is starting to look like a housing zone now that is part of the reconstruction effort.
Yep.
That's been going on in this expansion. That's looking pretty sweet. Assuming that you like the cold.
So no.
So we might see that on the next expansion, which we'll get news of that whenever we get news on that. All right. Map nights. Map nights continue to be a big draw. We love our map nights here at AIE. It's a ton of fun. It's easy content. It's a lot of randomness. We all get we fill 2 groups. And we go and we run treasure maps. We go treasure hunting, and then we go into loot zones, and then the game trolls us. Mm-hmm. And then but we do end up getting a few million gil in a course of an evening here.
I heard something about 5. They were doing the card gamble, and they actually made it through round 5.
Yes, actually both groups did this. So I go to both stories here. So when you go into the treasure zone, there's you beat up a bunch of mobs. Here, treasure. Okay, and then you click on your treasure. There's a chance that it says Gambler's Lure, and then it shows what's in the treasure chest. But then there's you can double or nothing. Mm-hmm. And if you play the double or nothing, you get the little card shark mini game where you're shown a card, which is numbers 1 through 9, and randomly, and then you can pick high or low. And then if you go high, you pick the right one, then you double your loot. If you guess incorrectly, you lose everything.
Yep, game over. And if you tie, it just resets, right?
Yeah,
it resets a number there. So if let's say you get the lowest number 1, and you pick high, because of course you would, and you get another 1, then it says, "Oh, it's a push, so we're going to redo it, but we're going to give you a random number." Yeah. So you might get a 5, and they say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I had to get, and he can't back out at that. He can't back out at that point. So you have to, the odds are in your favor when you get a 1 to continue going, but that can happen. So we actually had two groups running yesterday, and one group got to the end and got 5 taluses, which is the pets that you get in there, because you could there's 5 stages of the double or nothing, and they went and they got 5 on there, and then the other group we did the same thing, but we got the little tabletop FOF minion or FOF nice. Tabletop housing item.
Yep.
So we did that, and tons of money, tons of gil to be had. And the cool thing about these maps is that they're fun and highly profitable. Doesn't matter what type of player you are. If you're a casual player, you can get gil and tomestones. If you're an in-game raider, you can get gil, tomestones. Casual players, gil, tomestones, and cosmetics.
Yep.
Or if you're just looking for something fun, then you can have some fun and also get some gil because it's a highly profitable activity.
Yes.
All right. Coming down the pipe, 5.4 will be out sometime in the December timeframe. Aside from it being the normal even number patches, which really will get us the more storyline, the continuation of the main story quest line, which is it's going to start setting up the next expansion. So that's going to be a good time. But we're also going to get the last installment of the Eden raid. So that's going to be for people who've been doing that. That's going to be some interesting happening here, and more exciting things to have coffee cakes with.
Yep.
But also in this patch is we're going to have a new treasure map dungeon that's going to happen on there. So for the screenshots that we have, it looks like it's going to be another random wheel roulette thing, similar to what's in the previous expansion.
So like
which
the
is
level 70 map nights, where it's
that's what it looks like.
One of 3 doors, and then it goes down to 1 of 2 doors.
Oh, no. The round one that has like where the camera zips up.
Okay.
The roulette.
And then you
gotcha.
Yeah, the roulette one. Like,
I was thinking of level 60 maps. Then okay.
They might do that too. Who knows? I mean, it's there's.
What's the one you go in and you pick 1 of 3 doors?
That's the map within a map. So if you one of how should I put it? Yeah, one of the prizes of the on the floors of the map is another map.
Gotcha.
If you get that, that's another one that doesn't have like any mobs that come out when you pop it. So sometimes they're like underwater or something like that. You go in there, and then instead of picking 2 doors, you have 3 doors to pick from.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so the odds of success are less.
Yes.
Really.
But so we are getting another map type that in the next 5.4 patch. So we're looking forward to that. We're also looking at adding more fun nights and actually restructure them as we go there. In the Final Fantasy 14 channel, there is a straw poll up in there. I will pin that after this podcast, so you can easily get to it by clicking on the pins in the corner of Discord. But it's just just like the data gathering out there. What days work for you guys for running a legacy raid night, and what that means is previous expansions you may have not ran all the primals or all the raids or all the 24 player stuff or what have you, and you would like to. You like to do it as a group, not trying to go into the party finder or just find a bunch of randos on the internet. Go in.
Don't do that.
Explain. Overall have a good time. I want to find out what works for as many people as possible. Now, I do want to say up front, I cannot please everybody. There will be. Unfortunately, if everyone picks Tuesday, but you can't go because you have a raid night or you have a D&D group or you have a book club on Tuesday nights. I'm sorry if everybody else can go. I apologize.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to go what works best for the majority.
Yep.
Right now,
Exactly.
I am looking at different ways, like maybe a rotation or something like that. But I need to know what works for you guys first. So please, fill out that poll, click on it, go. It's unscientific, but I'm just trying to get a feel for what works for you guys, and we'll try to
you need the
accommodate
data before
accordingly.
you need the data before you can
Yes.
analyze it.
Yep.
Yes. So please click on the poll. It takes seconds. It's easy. It's a straw poll. Strawpoll.me. I use it all the time. All right, but yeah. But that's what we have going on right now in the world of Final Fantasy. Yeah, it's a great game. I mean, it does a lot of things really well. The game is free up to level 60, so there's no financial commitment. If you don't want to put any money into it, you just want to say, I want to check what this Final Fantasy business is all about. You do not need to play Final Fantasy 1 through 13 to understand what's going on. All right.
And clearly, what I hear is avoid 11.
This is not Kingdom Hearts, okay?
No.
Right?
No. I was reading up on some stuff here. There was some characters that feel like they're straight from Kingdom Hearts,
Yes.
like the Ashians. But then once you get to the current game, then it turns into the full-fledged characters, and they says, oh, that's why they were like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is no longer Kingdom Hearts. This is now a full-fledged story with a beginning, middle, and end.
Mm-hmm.
Except we're not at the end, but you do at the end of the expansion.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever. We're still we're very much middle, where the end becomes the beginnings again. It's a nice little.
Yeah. It's timey-wimey. All right.
All right, so come on down. Love to get you guys started. Love to get you guys playing, and it's a good game. You'll love it. You'll love it.
Yeah.
All right. That's our show for tonight. While the chat room, which already has, starts suggesting titles, we want to thank our great ambassador for Final Fantasy XIV, Abo, for joining us tonight. I'm sorry?
Oh, no. Just Ambassador Abavan.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes. And we do not have any streams or anything going on this evening.
Nope.
So, Abo, where can people find you? Besides, in the Discord channel.
He's right there.
And pacing after the twins.
He's right there.
Yes, there's always that going on. But Discord is I am Avavan and some numbers I don't have memorized. But you ping me there. You always find me. Yeah, it comes right up. I'm Avavan on the Twitter. I'm Avavan79 on the Twitch. I am all over the place. Find me one of those places and you'll find me, and be a good time.
Awesome.
All right. And if you have a question or comment about our show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. Follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. Mew is at Mewcow. The Mewcow.
The Mewcow.
I forget. We still got to get that camper off it.
Spot.
McCullough is at Cyberwave. I am at Ivory Tiger. We record live with video every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us on our website, aie-guild.org, and just click on the podcast live stream link. Our Discord server for chat is aie-guild.info/discord. And for past episodes, you can see them on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/the AIE Podcast. And as of about 24 hours ago, we are also on Spotify. So if you're using Spotify for your podcast, just look for the AIE Podcast. You may have to go down to the second page as we're just on there, but we're on there. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul or visit his website, andrewallenmusic.com.
And we don't have any member segments this week, but if you have something for us, you can send it to podcast@aie-guild.org, and we'll be happy to include it.
All right. And next time, well, we're going to be talking to someone about something. Hey, Max, you want to come on the show? Anyways.
Otherwise, we're talking to ourselves again.
I'm sorry?
Otherwise, we're talking to ourselves again.
And we can do that too. Also, the next show will be November 1st. So for those who do not recognize daylight savings time, like Arizona and parts of Indiana, if you're smart like that, the show's going to be an hour differential because of the difference in the time in daylight savings time. So until then, AIE, this is McCullough.
This is Tetsemi.
And this is Mewcow.
And this has been the AIE Podcast.
Yay!
Thank you. Oh, guys, look at that.
See?
Not
Wow.
We got the news
Yeah, I know.
streamlined,
Exactly.
and we still had.
She's wowing at the 8 p.m.
No, I know.
And at 8 p.m.
So,
How
so
did
it's
that happen?
so it's fall back. So
Yeah.
so that means the podcast is going to be
At the same
what
time,
time?
because they change, we don't.
Yes. You guys
you
guys are the same. We just moved from having to be on at 5 to now having to be on at 6. And that means raid for us goes from 8 to 9. So, yeah.
Yeah, they shift it. They spring forward when we fall back.
Yep.
Okay, so it's still 8 o'clock. The show
Oh, yeah.
would still be 8 to 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't
You
move the
it's
show. We're not Azeroth Roundtable.
Okay.
They move the show for
Yeah,
their
because
daily.
both the hosts are in Arizona. That makes
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we
Okay.
keep everything the same. All right. So, Abbo, you got 3 show titles.
sense. And they're all really good.
Yeah,
They're all really good.
I know. I kind of like You Never Tell Me the Odds.
I like that one too. I do. I don't know. I also like it's not Kingdom Hearts, but that's just because the kid plays Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
even if you have played all of the Kingdom Hearts games, you're probably still confused about what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
The nature of
Yeah.
the game.
There's a 45-hour
Crash from what?
documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Chat room, thank you as always. We appreciate it. Abbo, thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and punch buttons over here. Bye, chat room.